Good morning again. It is now 9:56 a.m. Monday morning, June 3rd, 2019. Again, this is an addendum of an addendum. The last audio that I just did was about the black churches and this church that I used to attend about 15 years ago. And what just came to my mind regarding to emphasize, to really be aware of what's going on around you in the black community, I am reminded about this person who I know, not very well, but I know this person. And they were not a religious person. I mean, during the holidays, the mom would have to tell him, hey, pray over the food, things like that. This person was not a religious individual. A good person, though. A good human being, but not a religious man. He gets involved with this woman. They're of two different races, these people. And I think it's a relatively quick courtship, maybe a year or something like that. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think it went relatively quick, the relationship. And they married. And when they married, that's when he was becoming religious. That old religious spirit. Very, very upbeat, positive, which is all nice. But, the age that he is, why weren't you religious before? I mean, the individual, of course, went to, had some religious training as a youth, but that's it. Nothing religious about him, but a good person. But met up with this woman who was not from his background. And as upon when them getting married, did this religiosity come about in him. And I was amused. I said, I just kept a mental note. I should say, not amused, but just kept a mental note because, sometimes people come into a transformation early in life. You see a graduate, like let's say it was an extreme situation. Let's say they were a substance abuser, and then they had someone outreach to him, some religious organization outreach to him, and he gets cleaned up, and he feels obligated, and he joins the church and the religion. And he or she follow the scriptures. So I can understand that. But someone who relatively had a very good life, good foundation, and yes, had some religious training, but as an adult and everything, it was not a part of his vocabulary. But he met up with this outsider, and then I find out that this person who I know is now they're going to ordain him. He's going to Bible school to become a minister. And again, he's been married now, I think maybe 3 years. And this woman, again, is from another community, another race. And I'm wondering, this person I know, the guy is a really good guy. So I think any woman would want him, but it's just, I question why she got involved with him. And it seems that, men in general if they're not religious, something is introduced to them. Like I have people that I know, and they were not religious whatsoever, but the women that they were dating were religious or attended a church. And some women, they say, oh, you can't go out with me unless you go to my church. And so the guys just follow along, right? Have you heard of something like that? And these things happen a lot. These things could be called what they call missionary dating. So you have to really start looking very, very carefully about certain unions that occur. Now, some unions are what I call organic. It's a purity behind it. They are who they are. There's no secret, there's no motive behind them courting an individual, whether it be male or female. Okay? It's innocent. But some relationships are missionary dating. They have a plan, and they, I feel, are assigned to infiltrate certain communities, and they know what some people like, and that they're for it, and they plant the idea that you should become a minister. And you want to impress your new spouse, you just got married, and you get pregnant right away. Why is that? Why would a young woman these days get pregnant right away? I mean, right away, Now, yes, it can happen. Now, if you're in the royal family of Europe, you have kids right away because those kids serve as soldiers, so to speak, as officers of their army. And they set up rules and regulations and make sure that you adhere to it. That's why they're there. And that's why they have children. And you have to be blood related to have these positions. Okay, well, in this situation, this isn't any royalty, but it's still being targeted to a group, and they want to form these unions. Again, when you have a union and have children, you're more apt to stay in those relationships. Anyone could leave, yes, but you're more apt to stay, work it out, and the more kids you have, the more stuck you are. And you just get complacent, and now you're living for a check, because now you have to support yourself, your spouse, and your children. Okay? And I think that's how they entrap you. And that's how they, how they keep you. So, this individual was never a religious person, and they're at their prime, they're in their 30s, their prime strength, starting a family right away, and then move away from their community. This guy is no longer living in his community. He's far away. Why is that? You can't regulate if your family's away from home. You can't regulate what they're doing. This person's now becoming an ordained minister, going to college at this age of his life. He's an educated person, college degree, and he has other skills that he relied on to support himself. And the lady, I think, didn't do anything after he married. I mean, she took care of the home and everything, and she lived with his family. And like clockwork, it seemed very, again, I could be wrong, But it's just an impression that I get. You're not religious, and you're up there. It's not like you're in your late teens or early 20s, and you're just starting to get to know yourself. He's pretty much settled in what he's going to become and do. And it's not like he had a religious, an epiphany. But he gets an epiphany or something, this awakening with this new spouse. Why is this? And his spouse is not from his community. And I'm almost 99% sure that if he didn't meet up with this person, he would not be interested in the ministry. But all of a sudden he is, and now he's away from family, his community, and is most likely in her type of community, being indoctrinated by her faith system, which was different than his faith system. I mean, kind of the same, but a big difference in philosophy. Under the Christian umbrella, but different. One's Catholic and one's Protestant. This individual was Catholic. So I don't know any religious Catholics that all of a sudden want to become, why not in his faith system? Why not his faith system? But now, see that? I think this is by design. This is by design. She started out, the spouse, in our community, Black community, for was about maybe 2 years. And then boom, pulls them away, and they move down south. And took out a prime Black man, a viable Black man, and pulled him out of community. This is by design. This is not by happenstance. I saw a program over YouTube about, you have these white organizations, and they had like a large map, and they were studying about missionaries and how to spread what they call the Gospels. And I forget the numbers they used, but the such and such parallel. Well, if you look on a globe horizontally, there's a band, the equatorial, everything within the, in the equatorial region on this globe, all, according to them, they showed the map, was all Muslim and, heavy Muslim religion. And indigenous also, but a heavy Muslim, non-Christian belief system that's practiced in these regions on this planet. And that something about Nigeria was being groomed to be the new missionaries for Europeans/white people to go into these new territories and to convert. And then they showed a picture, this church. It's a Black Nigerian church. And then they hold up this photo, an image, a painting, a picture of a white Jesus. I just wanted to puke. This is a this is a Black country. And then they're going to hold up a white Jesus. I was very offended. Now, you can get a Middle Eastern guy, but they showed a European man being the Jesus. Well, I take that as indoctrination of the Nigerian because the Nigerians will be used to infiltrate this region of the planet, this equatorial region that's heavily Islamic, and use them as the missionaries. Why aren't they using white people in there for those missionaries? Why not? Why use black people? Nigerians at that. Why can't they use them? Because they're cowards. They're not willing to go into these regions and die. They know what the Islamic world and the Arab world is like. But they're cowards and they're not willing to do it. See, their religion is shortchanged. Their religion means nothing. It's all politics for many of them. Not all. You have some goodly white people and European people. Not all of them are bad. But you have those in power. That's what I'm addressing. You have those in power. They're too cowardice to fight their own battles, so they use you, black man, African man, whatever what you want to call yourself. They're using you as the mercenaries of religion. Hear that? The mercenaries, not missionaries, but the mercenaries to go in, conquer in the name of the cross. And once they get their strongholds in these Islamic regions on the planet, then all of a sudden all these white people / Europeans are going to come in and with force and to change and control those regions. They always seem to use religion to conquer a region because religion is a program to change and to control the way you think and what you do. This is really something. Yeah, this is what's happening now. So you think on the surface some things are just by happenstance. No! It's never by happenstance. This is their weapons, their warfare, tools of warfare that they use. A bloodless coup, and once they get that religion in to do a number on their brains, then those Europeans are going to come in to conquer and destroy. Wise up out there. Wise up to the evils that are being planned against you, people. Regardless of your race, religion, color, orientation, there is a war out there. It's a silent war. It's a bloodless war. It's a bloodless war, but it's being targeted against you. And then it's too late to pull out. Stay aware, stay vigilant. Keep in communication with your children. Those who have young children in school, ask them daily what they're being taught. Look in the books to see what they're being taught. Even in the colleges, they're doing brainwashing there. I got out of that class. Yeah, they are indoctrinating filth, even in the college level. Yep. Be vigilant and know that there is something going on, that nothing that you see is just by chance. And yes, of course, there are relationships that are of purity, that people live through their religious convictions from day one. When you're an older guy, you're prime, and an outsider comes in, kind of stays around, and then boom, oh, let's pull you away from your community and become a pastor. Is he going to be a pastor in his neighborhood? They have tons of churches nearby in the commercial district where this person used to live. See that? They're pulling our prime men away from their family, their community, and putting them in there. And I thought it was suspicious. Well, this spouse of his is different race, different upbringing, and they're all chummy with him. Now, I know there are some nice people in these communities, but I don't think so. That all of a sudden they're going to be all lovey-lovey. No. Missionary dating, planted them here in New York City, get a prime black fellow, pull him out, plant him in there, and to use him, just like I told you about the black minister, the older black minister that I met about 14, 15 years ago. He was a criminal, and then they, hey, we'll send you to college. Everything paid. Pulled him out of New York City and flew him to Puerto Rico. He didn't know any Spanish, so he had to learn the language and everything, and then the studies, yeah. And then they brought him back to New York City. And he has no control. Once they do that, they own you, and you can't get out. So that's how they get you. Oh, we paid for it. Oh, well, you got to pay us back. See that? Beware of gifts that are presented to you. It could be a trap. And that person that I'm referring to, that spouse, she didn't like me and I did not like her. There's something, it wasn't the first visit. It might have been the second or the third. I think it was the second visit. And something, when she came to the door, it just hit me real hard. This is a fake. I perceive it. And everything seems to set up. This is by design. I just say, black people, and oh, I have to also say this. I taught many of you know that I was in the military. I was in the U.S. Navy. And when we were in boot camp, they taught us about people who are spies. And that they target, get this very, very carefully, black men. Oh, I'm not black, I'm a Moor, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, well, whatever what you want to call yourself, they're targeting you. And what they're doing, I'm sorry, I'm losing train of thought. Oh, in the military, they are taking, you have these, again, when I went in the military, it was what they call the Cold War. And in our training in boot camp, they had to warn us about what some spies are about. And that they target these black men with the Russian women to infiltrate in their communities, to get information from them. And these black dudes think, oh, these white girls love me. No. No. They are strategic, and they warned us in boot camp. Be wary about those relationships. They didn't have to ask that about the white women or the black women. They specified black men. And they target black men because they know they're gullible. and they use them to be spies, to spy on our country. Be careful who you go to sleep with, you stupid ass. You're real stupid. Be careful who you be sleeping with. And I'm not here to teach about racism. I'm teaching about awareness, what's being done to our communities, to communities. It's not just our community, it's being done. They're targeting us to use us as their tools of deceit, because they know that we are gullible as a group, that we don't stick together. Stick together, people. Stick together, because they're going to consume you and then throw you out. They don't love you. They love what they can get from you and then discard you and put in their people in. That's what's being done. So, I'm glad I got that out. This is a very important message. Very, very important message. There's a reason behind all these things. Everything ties in. Everything. It's about connecting the dots. Connect the dots in your life. When something doesn't make sense, it's not being paranoid. Your senses, your sixth senses are communicating with you. Your logic and reason is trying to awaken you to open your eyes and be aware of what's going on. So definitely comment below. Share this video with friends, family members. Subscribe to my channel, Spirit Journey. And those of you who like my content, my channel, please feel free to donate to my PayPal me account. You'll find the link on my channel on the top right-hand side of the banner. You press on the link and just follow the steps, and whatever what your heart appeals to you, that is the amount that you give, all voluntarily. I thank you in advance for listening, and may this do a quickening to you. Start teaching others that you know. Use wisdom behind it. There is a warfare going on that you wouldn't believe, and you're not privy to it, but you are being used, period. So guys and gals, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.